What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 5-minute conversation with PRSÜT Outdoors. I'm John. Let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about archery elk. Now, I get a lot of messages from a lot of people on all sorts of social media sites about how do I hunt archery elk and how do I find success on public land where the success rate is usually like 10%. And a lot of it comes down to being in the right spot, but there's a little bit of a technique to it that a lot of people don't know. I was very blessed to, for several years, have a mentor that is one of the best archery elk hunters in the world. And he was one of my dear friends, and I was very blessed that I got to follow him around the mountain for 5 or 6 years and be on a ton of archery elk hunts successfully. He's one of the best callers. He has one of the best techniques, etc., etc. So I was very blessed that I got to be a part of that for years. And even though I'm a slow learner, I did pick up on a few things. So, the way I hunt archery elk. First of all, once you identify the unit, I like a unit that has a bunch of wilderness area because it has no drivable roads, no motorized vehicles, and usually doesn't have a bunch of access points. Now, you might have access points on the perimeter, but you can't like drive to the middle of it, get out of the truck and start hunting. You have to put some work in, right? So to me, I look for a unit that has a bunch of wilderness area, simply because that gets me away from the crowds just to start out. As long as I'm willing to hike in there, good. Next, I pull up Onyx. I look at that wilderness area. I identify the worst possible place in that wilderness area that would be to pack out an elk from. So I find the nastiest little slot canyon, the nastiest little bowl, whatever, where I look at that on the map, and I look at the elevation, and I go, man, I don't want to pack an elk out of there. Guess what? That's probably where the elk are, assuming that there's water in some vicinity within a mile, I'd say, and there's an escape saddle on the backside one way or the other. So, you find that, you start to be in business, especially if it's more than, let's call it 2 miles from a road, more than 1.5 miles from a road. Now you're really getting into business. So, from there, you identify that, right? You look at that northeast face. It's got timber on it. Perfect. That's where the elk are going to be between like 9:30 a.m. and like 4:30 p.m. So, the way to hunt that, say this is the canyon that goes up. The northeast face is right here. You go the next canyon over in the morning. You go up that next canyon. You stay on this southwest side of this ridge, one canyon over from the northeast face that you want to hunt. You go all the way up. You get close to the top of the ridge line. Then you wait about 10, 10:30, 11, 12, it just depends. The thermals will change and the wind's going to change. Those are two different things, remember. And you wait until your thermals are going up. Now, when you peek over that top edge, you're looking down into the northeast face. The thermals are coming up to you in your face, and the wind should be not blowing down into that canyon. So now you've got the elk down here bedded on this northeast face in the shade, and you're above them on this ridge. They can't smell you. They haven't heard you. Now you're in business. Now you grab your cow call. You get set up. You drop I only drop like 15, 20, maybe 50 yards down into that face. And I stop. We get everybody set up. I wait. Now you blow some cow calls. You give them a little. A little bit. Give them a little bit. Now, I actually don't get a ton of bulls to just bugle right back at me, but you stay silent, you listen, you might hear a bull kind of do a meow, just kind of a, who are you and how did you get there? And I don't recognize you guys. And he will either start coming in quietly or he'll make a little bit of noise, but he'll start coming up the hill to you because you're new elk and there's nothing to his nose that's telling him, oh, those are people, or oh, that's danger. He just goes, oh, there's some cow elk above me that, and it's still on the northeast face and I'm still safe in here. Let's go see who that is over there. Now, we'll go into his part B where if he starts bugling like crazy at you, different scenario. We're gonna play out this scenario where it's he's not making a bunch of noise. You may not even know he's coming. You need to act like you know there's a bull coming quietly to you, either up the hill or side hilling to you on that northeast face. So give it a good 15 minutes where every few minutes you just give them a and just watch, pay attention. For an animal that's 500, 600, 700 pounds and has 6-foot antlers on its head, they can move incredibly quietly through thick timber, deadfall, doesn't matter. I've had so many bulls walk from 400 yards away up to 30 yards, and we never heard them make a sound. They never broke a stick. They never bugled. But if you pay attention and you watch, you will see the bull coming to you. And at that point, don't do anything different. Don't automatically start bugling at it when you see him. None of that. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. If he hangs up, give him a couple more cow calls. Let him know right where you're at. I promise you, those bulls can pinpoint right where you are from hearing the cow call. Now, the thing I add is I usually have a secondary guy about 15 feet to my right, 15 feet to my left, 15 feet behind me. It just depends on the situation, holding the rear end of a cow elk decoy. Not the decoy that shows the shoulder and the body. It's just the rear end. And it's usually off to the side a little bit. Now that gets the bull from that 70-yard hang up into 30 yards. That's all you need. When he's coming in, you give him a couple little cow calls. He sees that decoy, gives him something to look at. It reaffirms in his little brain that there is elk there. What I'm seeing matches what I'm hearing. All good. And that bull will come in to 25, 30, 40, 45 yards. I try not to shoot bulls outside of 45 yards. Unless they're in like a wide open plain, I feel really comfortable or something like that. But on the mountain, in a northeast face, in dark timber, I'm trying for a sub 40-yard shot. I'm really trying to get around a 30-yard shot. Now, that's all you need to do. People call too much, they bugle too much, they chuckle too much, they make too much noise that wouldn't be happening naturally a lot of the time, especially in that early part of the season, that September 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, that time frame. If you're just screaming at a bull at 11 o'clock in the morning, he's probably not going to be screaming back at you naturally. Now, you might find a hot bull somewhere. Sure, I'm not saying there's always exceptions. But typically, that first week of the season, they're just kind of horny and they're just kind of interested. And that's why you get these bulls. Now, I'm not talking about the herd bull. I'm not talking about the baby bull. I'm talking about you get the middleweight satellite bulls that will 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon, just come, 200 or 300 yards to you, either side hilling across on a northeast face or coming up to you on a northeast face, just to check out, hey, you're some cows, you're some girlfriends. I'd like to have some girlfriends of my own. They'll come all the way over to you. That's all you need to do. Don't overcomplicate it. The biggest thing is setting up correctly. That's not going up the canyon you're going to hunt it. It's going up the canyon on the southwest side over, go up that canyon, come up that side hill, drop over that saddle or over that ridge, drop into that northeast face just a little bit. Once the wind and thermals are right, give them some cow calls and be patient. It might take them 15, 20, 25 minutes to come over to you. But if you're patient, you stay quiet, you don't move a bunch, and you keep your eyes peeled, you will have a bull work over to you. Bada bing, bada boom, dead archery bull. You'll be happy, the world will be great, and you've got a bull elk in the truck. Stay tuned for part 2.